We'll start with Namo Tassa and please join me in the chanting. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Buddhang saranang gacchami, Dhammang saranang gacchami, Sanghang saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. Panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Adinnādāna veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Kāmesu micchācāra veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Musāvādā veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Suramera majjapamā datthāna veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. We will now do our guided meditation. Please join me in these steps. Your eyes closed and you are seated in a comfortable position. Your shoulders at ease, knees bent gently, and scan your body to see if you have any agitations. Move away from them, giving some comfort, loving kindness to that part of your body. Your eyes are not focusing on anything, they are just resting. Your face has a light smile, setting up your intention and attitude. Your lips gently touching each other. So you begin breathing through your nostrils. if that makes you feel comfortable. And your jaws relaxed, your neck and your shoulders, your arms, your palms and hands, fingers, your sitting bone, the lower parts of your body, the sitting bones, and down to your knees, between your knees and your neck, your chest, stomach, all the muscles in the center of your body. You relax these. No tension, no tightness. And you relax your ankles, the soles of your feet, and the toes. This way, your body is in comfort. You have attended to it and gently put it in a very, very comfortable position. So throughout this meditation, you keep your body smoothly in an erect position, not falling asleep, so you mindfully remain focused on these instructions. Now you are rooted to the ground, very much grounded. All that negativity, the baggage of past and the future, these baggages are put down, inviting positive energy from the universe, from every direction, like sunlight coming towards you. You welcome all these positive attractions, images, energies. The image of you seated in a nice place, enjoying this moment, will be a great image to have. Now you begin focusing on your inhaling and exhaling. Take a deep breath in and release. You can feel fresh air going into the body and coming out warm from your body. Awareness established. Mindfully you breathe in, mindfully you breathe out. Taking a long breath, you know you are taking a long breath. Releasing it, you know you are releasing it. Taking a short breath, you know you are taking a short breath. Whether it is a short breath or a long breath, you know as they happen. Expand your awareness from just breathing to the whole body. So sensitive to the body's movements, particularly the upper body. You breathe in and breathe out. So you notice the expansion and contraction as they happen. Notice now any calmness, any tranquility that has arisen in your body from your awareness of breathing meditation. As you let go of the attention to the body, you can switch to the mind and direct it towards radiating loving kindness to you and whoever comes to your mind. In your mental image, you are smiling, joyful. This is about yourself, appreciating what you do, rejoicing, how well you have lived. May you be well and happy. May you be peaceful. May you be calm. May you be free from suffering. So now your loving kindness is radiated towards your front, all beings in front of you. Whoever is touched by your loving kindness is smiling, friendly, and enjoying this loving kindness with you. To the infinity, beyond this earth, starting from here to this house, to this land, to this village, to this town, to the county, to the state, many states, to countries, many countries, to the globe, oceans, space, planet systems, and beyond. In front of you, above you, below you, on your left hand side and your right hand side, your back, in every direction, you radiate loving kindness. Holding no grudges, being friendly to yourself. You are friendly with the seen and unseen. With the unseen, you appreciate, you admit that there can be other beings that you don't see from your naked eye. But may they be well and happy. That is your loving kind thought. May all beings be well and happy. Whatever living beings there may be, whether they are weak or strong, omitting none, the beings can be great or mighty, medium, short or small, the seen and the unseen, those living near and those living far away, those born and those to be born. May all beings be at ease. Let none deceive another or despise any being in any state. Let none wish harm upon another through anger or ill will. Like a mother who protects her only child like her own life, we cherish all living beings with a boundless heart, radiating kindness over the entire world, spreading upwards to the skies, downwards to the depths, outwards and unbounded. You become free from hatred and ill will. You keep yourself that way whether you are standing, walking, sitting or lying down. Free from hindrances. You keep this as a recollection, continuous reflection, and this is a sublime abiding. With your heart being pure, with your vision cleared, you become free from all sense desires and not born in this world again. You can open your eyes and join the discussion. So what we have today is the sutra called Velama Sutta. And you will find the name Velama in the middle of the sutra. So this has a scale of good deeds, and this can easily be misunderstood. So, and you also see that it's a small sutra. This is from Anguttara Nikaya. So Anguttara Nikaya is the gradual discourses, a collection of gradual discourses. And this belongs in the collection of Navaka Nipata. Navaka Nipata here refers to a collection that has 9 in numbers. So 9 of these, 9 of that. So that is how that collection has been grouped in the ancient time. So this is number 20, the sutra number 20 in gradual or numbered discourses. So let's read it. Once, when the Buddha was dwelling near Savatthi at the Jeta Grove, the householder Anathapindika visited him, and after greeting greeting him politely, sat down at one side. And the Exalted One, this is the Buddha, addressed Anathapindika. And the Buddha is asking this question: do you give alms, householder? So alms here is ALMS, refers to giving a meal to monks or to anybody who comes to your house. But usually alms refer to dana. Dana is generally given to monks. So sometimes people use alms, ARMS. Please don't give those to anybody. So householder is the word for Gahapati. So there are householders in this discussion. So this is the Buddha asking from the greatest lay supporter he had, one of the wealthiest people. And he says, yes, alms are given by my family, but they consist only of broken rice and sour gruel. And then the Buddha kind of gives an insight saying it doesn't matter what is given if you give it with pure intent. This is how he says it. Householder, whether one gives coarse or choice, choice alms, if one gives with respect, thoughtfully, by one's own hand, gives things that are not leftovers, and with belief in the result of actions, meaning you believe in karma, that karmic results will come your way because of this giving. You don't expect good things to happen to you, but you know that it is the nature in the world that when you give, things come your way. Then, whether one is born as a result of having given with respect, the mind will experience pleasantness. So what happens in the giver's mind is that you feel the sense of relief that you are able to help this person. You are able to let go of something you owned. You are able to make changes in somebody's life. You have lifted somebody's burdens. So this is how you get a pleasant mind. Let's continue. This is the name Velama. Long ago, householder, there was a brahman named Velama who gave very valuable gifts. He gave thousands of bowls of gold, silver, and copper filled with jewels, and he gave horses with trappings, banners and nets of gold, carriages spread with saffron-colored blankets, thousands of milk-giving cows with fine jute robes and silver milk pails, beds with covers, odd fleece with blankets, embroidered coverlets, and with crimson cushions at the ends, lengths of cloth of the best flax, silk, wool, and cotton. And how to describe all the food, sweets, and syrups that he gave? They flowed like rivers. Householder, who was the Brahman who made those very valuable gifts? It was me. So this is, I'll continue and then come back to this place. Householder. So the question here is, who was the Brahman who made those very valuable gifts? It was me. So I'm asking you, who was needy? But when those gifts were given, householder, there were no worthy recipients. Although the Brahma Velama gave such valuable gifts, if he had fed just one person of right view, the fruit of the latter deed would have been greater. Now, this is when we begin the scale of good deeds. So, all the good deeds are put into a scale and measured here. And apparently, so we can come back after reading it. So the first thing is like giving right view to somebody is greater than giving all those fine things. And then it says, though he fed right view to 100 people, and then feeding the once returner would have been greater. So what is a once returner? Here, a once returner means and a Sakadagami person, a person who has come to second fruition. So there is a line of attainments, stream winner, which is a Sotapanna person. The once returner is a Sakadagami person. He comes only once after his death to the sensual world. And then non-returner, that is an Anagami person. He does not return to the sensual world. He becomes enlightened somewhere else in a pure state. And then an Arahant. So now, feeding 100 people is on one side of the scale, and feeding a once returner, just one person, is on the other side of the scale. And it says that feeding that once returner is greater. And why is that? It's a great question to ask. And then they have used the term Sakadagamis here. Though he fed 100 once returners, Sakadagamis, the fruit of feeding one non-returner, an Anagami, would have been greater. And then though he fed 100 Anagamis, the fruit of feeding one Arahant would have been greater. Though he fed 100 Arahants, the fruit of feeding non-teaching Buddha would have been greater. That is a Pacheka Buddha, Buddha who does not necessarily teach like other Buddhas. Then feeding, if you were to feed 100 Pacheka Buddhas, the fruit of feeding a perfect one, a teaching Buddha, would have been greater. Though he fed a Samma Sambuddha, the fruit of feeding the order of monks with the Buddha at its head would have been greater. Feeding not just the Buddha, but Buddha and Sangha is greater. And though he fed the Sangha with the Buddha at its head, the fruit of building a monastery for the use of the Sangha would have been greater. Though he built a monastery for the monks, the fruit of sincerely taking refuge in the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha would have been greater. And though he sincerely took refuge in the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, the fruit of sincerely undertaking the 5 moral precepts would have been greater. So, offering a monastery and then taking refuges and then coming down to 5 precepts. And though he sincerely undertook the 5 precepts, the fruit of developing metta, loving kindness, even for just to the extent of a whiff of a scent, would have been greater. And then it stops at, though he developed universal loving kindness, the fruit of cultivating the awareness of impermanence, anicca, even for a moment of a finger snap, would have been greater. So that's in comparison with Velama Sutta, the place where the Buddha talks about a Brahman named Velama. So this Brahma was able to give all these fine stuff, things that are hard to give, things that are rarely given, but he gave those. And who was this person? Can you answer for me? It says in the sutra that householder, who was the Brahman who made those very valuable gifts? It was me. Could this be referring to a past life of the Buddha? That's my take on it.
Mm.
So when he was a wealthy person named Velama, he was able to give. He has been a giver. Now he has come to perfection of giving, that he even gave away his children, which is a very, very hard thing to do. And he's blamed for that up to this date. That's a different problem to address. But here he says, it was me. And then he switches to something unusual. He says, just let that go. But giving right view to someone is greater than that. Right view is something to do with the 4 valuable truths, 4 truths that are noble. Arya Satya, noble truths. Teaching about there is suffering, the truth of suffering, and that this is how it starts. The cause of suffering is craving, and you can overcome it, meaning you can experience cessation, and then there is a path. When somebody realizes that, so you have come to right view. And that is greater than feeding with those stuff. Because there will be so many hundreds and thousands of people coming to you when you are able to give that many. But would anybody listen to, it may not be that attractive when you begin teaching about the right view. Perhaps nobody would show up. When you say you post all your belongings in Craigslist, definitely there will be many people interested in looking what valuables you have posted in there and which one that person will be interested in taking the ownership of. But then when you as a giver, you are giving right view to someone. You have to have so much patience, so much loving kindness to be able to teach it in a convincing way. You have to be in a position that you can teach that. But is it saying that dana, giving material things, is trivial? This is where people can mistake it. It doesn't say that, but it says that some people may tend to just give and not even concentrate on the goal of, attaining nibbana. When you put that into focus, into the primary goal, then Just giving alone is not enough, but giving is necessary to reach to that goal so that you cut lobha, dvesha, and moha from the roots, greed, hatred, and delusion. Okay. And then it says, no, everybody is put into a scale here. Once returner, non-returner, and then an arahant, and then a Pacheka Buddha, a non-teaching Buddha, and a Buddha, perfectly enlightened one. And then it goes up to a Buddha with Sangha, and then building a monastery. So why is, building a monastery is greater? So this is spoken to Anathapindika, who built a huge monastery to the Buddha. So there is a connection there that, just be happy that you have given such a big monastery. And in a monastery, the conditions have to be ready for you to give a monastery to monks, that monks should be available. If monks are not available, there's no way you can give a place like that. There are places, but if there are no monks practicing, no use of a monastery. And a place like that is an abode. Here, in this case, it's an abode, a dwelling place to the Buddha and to hundreds of monks coming from every direction. And usually when a monastery is offered, it is open for any monk who is coming from any direction. You can't shut the door and say, no, you don't belong here. Unless you see a serious problem that he's not a genuine monk, he's just trying to take shelter disguised, and when you have doubts like that, then you don't really let him in out of safety for other monks. But the general idea is that when anybody builds a monastery, it is open for Buddhas, open for monks. And then it says taking refuge is even greater. Let alone a material place. When you take refuge in the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. We have chanted it hundreds and hundreds of times so far. In every guided meditation session, we do that. And the need for that is, before you go to bed, take refuge. That is, at one of these moments, it will sink into you, and that you set your direct, attention into it. It's like an arrow being shot, and it goes directly to a certain target, so you don't fall off that sharp target. Like triple gem takes you directly, taking refuge in them, not taking refuge in your sensual desires, which is a common practice. That takes you to that goal. So I think, and then it says the 5 precepts coming to Sila, and it has been compared to a little fragment of fragrance. And Sila is considered the Sugandha, the fragrance, virtues. Your virtues are a fragrant thing. When you are in good conduct, it goes, everybody is touched by it. People know, people respect you accordingly and give you that space. And it's a delicate thing. It's a very nice thing. So just taking 3 refuges alone is not enough. You need to have your conduct changed, your bodily behavior, verbal behavior changed accordingly. And now it says universal loving kindness, which is a thing we did today. So we have passed other things. If you want to look at it that way, we came to practicing loving kindness. Even for just a little bit, it will be greater. And then it says, contemplating on impermanence in the world. So you contemplate on things that arise and pass away. That is greater than loving kindness. But when it says greater, it is after doing each step. So that you have the experience of this is like this, and there is a greater place to go. It's not that you put away everything else and just begin with impermanence. It is impractical to do so. There is no easy path like that. So when it, anicca, impermanence is, one of the key teachings. This belongs to three lakshana, three characteristics, anicca, dukkha, and anatta. So anicca is impermanence, dukkha is suffering, anatta is non-self nature. Anicca comes from na, nicca, na changes to a, both have negation. Nicca is permanent, N-I-C-C-A. So na nicca becomes anicca, something that is not permanent. And the focus here is the five aggregates: form, feelings, perceptions, formations, and consciousnesses. All these aggregates. They arise and pass away. Nothing remains permanent. And that awareness is the breakthrough experience. That understanding, awakening into it, is a breakthrough experience towards your final enlightenment. So that, all the other things would be good, but that brings you closer to the attainment of the final nibbana. And if you put everything into a scale like that, that is like a way to break the shell and come out of the egg. That's how you can understand this series taught in here. Any questions? So it didn't teach that don't give, don't do anything, don't build a monastery, don't do this. It's teaching that, this is how you can put everything into a scale. So this is the Buddha trying to teach Anathapindika, that try to understand teachings. Don't just give a monastery and stop there. So he's quite closely sitting with Anathapindika and trying to teach, try to, do a little bit more. This will be good for you. Did he listen? Apparently, he only listened but didn't do it. He's still in the heavenly realm. He came to the Buddha after his passing away and said, this beautiful monastery is built by me, and you and great monks live here. That makes me so happy. So he was rejoicing in his good deed. So happiness is like food for heavenly beings. They can just enjoy that and spend eons and years there, just rejoicing in the good thing they did. And it's like a long state to be. It's a mental place to be. Lots of talks about heaven, whole sections about heaven and hell realms in the sutras. Some days we have touched those, and some days we can again come back to those teachings. But it says, according to the Buddha's focus, is that don't wait until another yen for another Buddha. Do it right now. Let go of things and concentrate on impermanence of the five aggregates, and then you will have freedom from attachments, suffering, and enjoy this very human life to the fullest. That's how we can look at these teachings. So 8:29, time to stop. But I'm happy to answer any of your questions if you have it. Great, 17 people.
Yeah, this is Harold. Thank you. That's a very nice short sutra. I've liked it very much. And also appreciated very much the PowerPoint. Very inspiring and made me feel happy that you're teaching to the children.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, Harold. So that's called the Global Dhamma Kids program, and it has been touching many kids, and I'm so happy that I developed the slides. And usually I thought that they will not like it, but apparently with all these stories that come along with each slide, it seems like they want more. And because of that, many parents tend to call me and they say, my kid did this, and what is your advice? So I try to help. So thank you for appreciating it.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other thoughts? All right, we will see you all again. If you are a Sinhalese speaker on Fridays at 7:30 p.m., we do a similar program in Sinhalese language. And if not, on Saturdays at 8:30 in the morning, if you are a morning person, you are welcome to join our morning meditation. And our Katina ceremony is coming up on the weekend of 8 Saturday and 9, I think. Let me see what days. Yeah, so 7th Saturday and 8th Sunday. On 7th, there will be a chanting, and you will receive an email, and you will get updates from the temple. All right, happy meditation. Have a great rest of the week. Take care and stay safe, stay sane, stay well. May all beings be well and happy.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sure.